I'll speak with Bernie Sanders' campaign manager shortly to get you his response. You don't want to miss that. First, I'm going to talk to another eminent progressive in the arts, someone with a very different read on the 2016 election. Joining me now, Oscar-nominated screenwriter, Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, one of the greatest writers of our time, if I can editorialize, and a Hillary Clinton supporter, Tony Kushner. Great to have you here, Tony.
Great to be back.
I think of you as having pretty radical politics. I think you've described yourself as a socialist. Your work often contains pretty intense critiques of the American power structure. Where are you on this election?
I support Hillary Clinton. I think she would make an extraordinary president, and I think she's going to be nominated and elected. So.
And this is not, that you've left behind your lefty past or something. You are no longer the radical idealist you once were.
No, I mean, like Secretary Clinton, I think that you, as you move through time, you consider views that you've had in the past and perhaps reconsider them and amend them. But I feel that I'm still a person of the left. I believe in electoral democracy as a way of effecting progress and even radical change. And there's a lot of evidence in American history that that's the case. And it starts with action in the communities and on the streets, but it has to, that kind of action has to find some kind of responsory group in the halls of power. And I think that when there are people that are elected and people on the streets working for change, enormous changes can happen.
Are you supporting Hillary Clinton because there's two ways I hear people talk about this. I think she's the best shot to win, or I think she would make the best president. Which of those two?
I think she's absolutely the best shot to win, and I think she would make a wonderful president. I'm excited about the idea of a Hillary Clinton presidency, and I don't quite understand why more people aren't, or I think a lot of people are, but I don't understand why people with political views that I share aren't more excited about her. The sort of I couldn't possibly vote for Hillary Clinton thing from someone like Susan Sarandon, who I respect enormously, baffles me, as I think it baffled you last night. It's there are things that one may or may not like about her. She's been in public office and in the public eye for a really long time, so she's left a very long record of accomplishments and also at times failures. But she's been a champion of everything that I care about for a very long time, and
even things like foreign policy and you're someone who I think of as being quite outspoken on Palestinian self-determination, particularly, and the sort of immorality of the occupation in Israel. And she gave that speech to AIPAC, which was quite a hawkish.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much the speech that I would expect a serious nominee for the presidency to give to AIPAC. I suppose she might have not shown up, as Sanders did, but I think that it's enormously important, I believe, for the Jewish American vote to stay 75% Democrat, as it has for many, many, many decades. And I think that this is an enormously fraught issue, and she's avoiding getting caught up in a debate that might do damage to her candidacy. I think that she believes in diplomacy, and I think that she'll pursue a diplomatic solution to the crisis in the Middle East.
Let me ask you the same question. If Sanders were to be the nominee, would you vote for Bernie Sanders?
Of course. I mean, I don't know what's going to be nominated or who's going to be nominated on the other side of things, but it's terrifying. I mean, I don't think there's been anything this frightening coming from the Republicans in ever, and that's saying a lot. So I don't see that anyone who cares not only about this country but about the world at this point, about climate change, about immigration reform, about any issue that's of any significance, women's health care, LGBT rights. How could you not vote for whoever the Democratic nominee is going to be? And there's a lot that I admire about Sanders. I just think that Hillary Clinton has a more impressive record and is a more skillful politician, which I think is more important ultimately than fantasies about how moral or immoral a person might be.
That people on the internet are going to have something to say about that. Tony Kushner, thank you so much for joining us, and I really appreciate it.